Are you ready to jingle your bells?
I was going to say happy holidays, or should I have said happy holidays, honey? It's time for the Christmas Xtravaganza special. I couldn't even say the word.
I'm gonna have like snow come
Ooh,
down.
I love that. Well, it's your girl, Miss Laganja Estranja.
And Joseph Shepard.
And welcome to a holiday spectacular version of Queening Out.
I love that you made this seem like it was gonna be a variety special.
It is.
Who's coming out to perform?
Mama, I'm giving King Island Christmas. I'm about to fully go in.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't know I got the reindeer coming?
No, I did not.
Oh yeah, we got Santa on the stripper pole, in the snow globe. I mean, we're pulling out all the stops for this holiday.
That would be a killer party. Santa on a stripper pole and a snow globe.
I don't know if you've ever seen this. My music video, Green Christmas, which is Green XXXmas. It starts off with a girl, my friend Candace, on a pole inside a snow globe. You have to insert it into this pod.
I will.
You have to. It's so good. So, and then at the end of the video, Alyssa comes out at the holiday party where we're all smoking weed and is all like, what the fuck is going on here with like a mask and my dog? It's hilarious. So, yeah, of course. We're giving production value this episode by changing our looks.
Yeah. Hey, that's what it is. And maybe we'll have some little like snow coming down. We'll have
all of it.
A little Christmas elf come on my shoulder.
Oh, I love when elves come on my shoulder.
It's always best. So before we get into us talking about Christmas,
yeah.
I did have an email about Christmas.
I love that.
First email is from Jackie.
Perfect.
Hi, Laganja and Joseph. A couple of weeks ago, my family asked if my girlfriend was coming to Christmas. I kept pushing it off, knowing I didn't want her to come because of all the shit some of them have said in the past about gay people. It was stuff like gay people must have something wrong in their brains. I would disown my daughter if she was gay, or just general disgust with gay people. I often don't feel comfortable around them, even though they have been seemingly accepting of me and my girlfriend. I just don't know if they have actually changed their views or if they're just saying what I want to hear. I will say most of my family is accepting. There are just a few interactions that I'm worried about. What if someone says something offensive and it derails the conversation? I want to maintain my relationship with my girlfriend, but also protect the peace of Christmas. There are also some family members that really want to see her at Christmas, and my girlfriend even bought presents for them. I'm still thinking about going home alone. Should I do it? Should I not?
No, you should not do it. Take your girlfriend. What do you mean? I say take your girlfriend. Let there be drama, honey. Christmas is about spending time with those you love the most. And obviously that's your girlfriend. So I say it's worth it. And obviously if someone is ignorant or says something, try to prepare your partner for that, right? And discuss how you guys find it best to handle it. I personally would go the nice route, kind of like when someone misgenders me, I don't jump down their throat. I just try to use it as a moment to educate them. So that's would be my suggestion there. But ultimately, no, I think any holiday, whether it be Christmas or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah, or any of the Uz, you just need to be with those you love and feel that spirit of the end of the year closing out. Because I think that's really what it's about, Christmas for me, it's become so Hallmark. It's about the tree and the presents and the this and that. But what it's really about is being with those you love and your family and getting that time off of work to all gather around, eat the food you love. So yeah, I say bring your partner.
I see both sides.
Okay.
I think that...
Well, you've also faced this more than me.
I have, yeah,
right?
A little bit. I would say that I see both sides. I see how you might want to hold back and you want to keep your relationship what it is now. And it does create a lot of stress if you do bring somebody into an environment and there's the possibility that somebody's going to react a certain type of way. But to your point, there's only one way to make people change. They have to see that you are a regular person. They have to see, oh, this is normal. Oh, this is common. Oh, they're not screaming at me or acting like a crazy person or doing whatever. Now I'm learning that not all gay people are crazy. You know what I mean? Like there's a moment where you can have that relatability where your family member is going to go, oh, you know what? This would be just like if she was dating a boyfriend.
Right.
And to be able to have that, I think is much needed. And you're going to have to get over that little hump in the road. But if you feel like your family is not there at this moment in time, don't feel like there's a pressure to do it, but just know that there's only one way to go past it, and that's to be able to rip the Band-Aid off, in my way.
Yeah, but I think that is solid advice. You're right. I wasn't thinking about the other side of the coin, if you will. So you're right. But I guess to me, I sort of would be like, well, if I can't bring my girlfriend home, then I'm going to spend Christmas here with her. You know, I think like, because then you start to teach people like, well, if you can't accept me in my lifestyle, then you're going to lose me. And I think that's sort of how my parents were able to come around with me being trans. You know, they realized like, well, if we don't get behind her in this, we're going to lose her. And while it's not comfortable to put our family members or anyone really in those positions, sometimes we have to, because we have to do what's right for us. And, you know, I think again, it all depends on her girlfriend and where they're at, and will your girlfriend understand if you do chose to go to her, you know, with your family and not allow her to come, because then that can create conflict there in that relationship. So there is so many sides, but ultimately I think, like I said, the holiday spirit is about love. And if you can be the definition of that and show that love, then I think you can change people's perspective.
I love that. I would love to ask you a sidebar question about transness and who you are as an individual. When it comes down to dating for you, I would love to know, like, how do you view things? Because I know that some trans people do not want to date gay people. I know that they look for, you know, the more straight-laced, somebody that's going to be able to treat them like, you know, the woman or the man that they are. So for you, how do you view things?
Right. Well, I think, you know, at this point, we've all learned that I have a very different perspective than many of my sisters on this topic. You know, I don't view myself as a woman. I view myself as exactly what I am, which is a trans woman. So I feel somewhat in between. Two-Spirit, Mahu, I identify much more with those. Which, if you don't know, Two-Spirit's Native American, Mahu is Hawaiian. So definitely check out both of those things. So cool. So when it comes to looking for a partner, I take a real big issue with someone who identifies as straight. I feel that I am very queer and that I have zero interest in losing my queerness. So to date a man who would be like, but you're a woman and I see you as a woman and that makes me straight, that doesn't feel great to me. Now, I'm not saying I'm not open to that. I've never had that opportunity. I've never really dated since coming out. I only ever hook up. Then I got on hormones, lost my sex drive, spent a year and a half going dry, had one hookup, now back to being dry. So I don't know. I'm still such a baby when it comes to dating as a trans woman, but my hope is that I will find a man who identifies as bisexual, pansexual, queer, hetero, flexible, open, you know, but I hope that they can acknowledge that I am queer and that I have zero interest in going to a straight club and trying to fit into that space. And, you know, I want to be gay together, you know, like, now I don't want you wearing my clothes. There is some lines in the sand where I'm like, okay, now that's too gay mare. But like, yeah, I feel like, but again, I just don't know. It's so hard because there's part of me that's like, yeah, I want to be able to call my boyfriend girl and be like, oh, girl, blah, blah, blah. But then I'm like, actually, I don't. That's a little too gay. So I don't know. It's like, it's something that I'm going to have to figure out. But I do think for me, if someone is identifying as straight, it probably won't work for us because I am queer. My friends are queer. My family is queer. I love being queer and I don't want to lose that.
Do you feel that other trans women can be opposite to what you are? Do you think that there are others who are looking for straight? Yeah.
I mean, most of my sisters like do not want to date gay boys, do not want someone in the queer space, like want men who identify as straight because they feel themselves that they are women, period. So I respect that, of course. I always like to say gender and sexuality are on scales. So if we have gay over here and straight over here, we have all the beautiful variations in the middle, right? If we have man over here and woman over here and not, let's say non-binary in the middle, then we have all the variations in there. So if we're just going from non-binary to female, in there is so many different types of trans women with so many different ideas of what that means. I just feel for me that my trans siblings fought so hard so that I could live my life in an open and authentic way. And when I am being authentic to myself, I know that I am still queer and that will never change. And I pray to God it never does.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Because I think that there's always like questions that I think us in the community have.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody is different. And I think that, not everybody is the same type of gay, not everybody's the same type of, lesbian, same type of trans person. And it's just like, it comes down to a fact of like just asking.
Right.
And I feel like so many people are afraid to ask questions. And I'm like, why? Like, at the end of the day, like we're learning about somebody else's experience.
Agreed. Well, thanks again, Jackie, for your email. We really appreciate it. And we hope whatever you decide this holiday season that you find happiness. Just a reminder, you guys, if you want to send us an email, you can contact us at laganjos@gmail.com. That's LAGANJOES@gmail.com.
Pop, pop, pop.
Yes, pop, pop, pop.
Pop, pop, pop.
Well, speaking of pop, 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 what do you like to eat? I was thinking of popcorn. That was the transition.
Okay.
I tried. What do you like to eat at the holiday season?
Oh.
Because we know we didn't like Turkey Day.
No, we do not like
we
Turkey Day.
discussed that in a previous episode. So do you like Christmas food? And what is that for your family?
Okay, well, the interesting thing about my family, I may have said it before, is that my dad for Christmas would always do like shrimp cocktails in the morning.
Interesting.
So literally it would be like you would have your cocktail sauce and like, your shrimp that he would do.
That sounds so good. I'm so hungry right now.
I'm like, oh my gosh, that does sound good. No, he would always do that the morning of Christmas. So it was something different for us. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, it's the same type of, holiday type food.
Sure.
But one thing that I have been doing the past few years, because I'm addicted to them and I only do them one time a day, which is not your version, which you said is the Texas version that started with the C, I think. But I love my pigs in a blanket.
Okay, yeah, not a kolache.
Yeah, not a kolache. I will have to try that.
You
but
do.
Literally,
We can't get them here, by the way.
No?
No, you have to go to the South.
I'll have to go.
I know.
No, I think that that's some of my favorite. I just love eating food that is not common. And I think I mean by that, something that's not expected for like Thanksgiving or Christmas, something that's going to be exciting to look forward to.
Yeah.
Kind of like how did you ever watch A Christmas Story?
Is that the one where she gets her tongue stuck to the pole?
Yes.
Yes.
And then his whole family, like they went to like the Chinese restaurant
Yes.
like on Christmas Day.
Yes.
Like that's what I like. I like doing things that are a little bit different than the common traditions because that makes it feel more special to you. You're like, you know what? My family does this and your family does this and that's what they all do. You know? Like it's like a whole moment.
Exactly.
So I will say that's probably my favorite thing. I also loved any type of candy in my stocking. Ooh.
Yes.
A good Reese's Christmas tree. Anytime the Reese's does the different shapes,
totally,
those are the best ones.
I don't like those, but I hear you. Lots of people disagree with me, and they like the shapes. I'm just a classic girl. I don't like the shapes.
You like the hardness. You don't like it when it's soft.
Yeah, like the pumpkins and the. Ugh, I don't like it. I don't like it.
What do you eat for Christmas?
Okay, so we have several traditions. I think the first one that I've never not had at a Christmas is it's like this pastry that we get every year. That's one is stuffed with apricot and one is stuffed with cream cheese. I like the cream cheese one. It's in the shape of a Christmas tree. And then the ornaments are like maraschino cherries. And one is dyed green and one is red.
Okay.
So it like decorates the tree and then there's icing all over that. There's totally a name for it. I've forgotten it, but it comes from Stein's Bakery in Dallas, Texas. We never miss. We have it every year. And my dad makes bacon and it's sort of like our breakfast treat that I love.
Okay.
We also, tend to do traditional food like that you would see at Thanksgiving. However, in later years, because both my sister and I were like, we're sick of this white people food, we've done tamales. So I love it.
What's in your tamales though?
What?
What's in the tamales?
We get all different kinds. My favorite, honestly, is the vegetarian one, which is cheese and jalapeno. But we do bean and we do chicken. And then my mom or my aunt makes a homemade chili and we put that over the tamales. And then we do the shredded cheese on top. And it's just delicious. We do guacamole and chips and salsa. So again, because I'm from Texas and Tex-Mex is so prevalent there, we now have finally discovered as a family, right, we all eat this food for Thanksgiving. Let's switch it up at Christmas.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
What about when it comes down to okay, so you're a child.
Yep.
Let's say that you're under 10 years old.
Okay.
There's a certain person called Santa Claus.
Totally.
How was your Christmas formed around gifts? What was your Christmas Eve and your Christmas like?
Well, first up, I have to set up what Christmas was like for me at 10 years.
Okay.
Before we even get to the gifts, because it sparked a memory of mine. So my parents went all fucking out to keep me believe in Santa. All fucking out. So they would always read this story which was a night before Christmas and all in the house. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse, whatever that story is. And they would get like a neighbor or a family member to climb up on our roof and jingle bells. And bitch, it used to scare the fuck out of me as a kid. I would get so scared, but I would believe like, oh my God, Santa's here. And they were like, you have to go to bed now. Santa's here. So like, I really think I believed in Santa Claus until about 14. Like they kept me believing in that for a long time. We would do the cookies out for Santa and they would leave crumbles and write a note from Santa. I mean, I believed in Santa. And while I don't ever think I'll have children, if I did, like, that would be something that would be so important to me is keeping the magic of Santa alive, because as a kid, it's such a fond memory. And even though it would scare me sometimes, like it was magic. And I can't believe that my family like went and did that for me for so many years. So I love that. Now, when it came to gifts, my parents have always been incredible. You know, I'm a December baby, December 27th. Wow, I don't even know my own birthday. You know, I'm a December baby, December 28th. So my parents were really amazing at making both my birthday and Christmas special. Ooh. So gifts were very separate, but gifts were always abundant in my house. I mean, I remember some of my favorite toys were one of those little trampolines. You know, like a little baby-sized trampoline that you could just jump on in the house.
Oh, okay. Well, you said this. And I was thinking, how the fuck are you going to jump on this?
No, it was like,
you're meaning like those little ones.
I was also 7. But yeah, so like that was one of my favorite gifts. I also was obsessed with this show called Tomb Raiders of the Lost Ark. Does that sound familiar? It was a dinosaur show. And I remember one year they got me this like crazy Lego like set of the thing, and I would play with the dinosaurs on it. And I mean, they got me really cool shit as a kid. They still get me cool stuff now, but now of course I'm always like, please don't get me a lot. Christmas to me is much less about the gifts and just about being together. So last year we actually started a new tradition as a family, which is instead of doing gifts, we're going to go on trips, because ultimately my sister and I, we're done going to Texas for Christmas. Like, it's just not the vibe. So last year we went to Joshua Tree, which was so amazing, and all spent money on the Airbnb, and it was so nice. And so this year we are going to Portland to be with my sister and her wife and their new home. So I'm excited. I'm really excited. And I think it's a really cool new tradition.
Damn.
Yeah. What about you? What was presents like? What are your traditions?
So basically, Christmas Eve was the time that we exchanged presents to each other.
This is a popular thing.
And these were all wrapped. So it would be any presents I got for my mom got for me, my dad, whatever it was. And then on Christmas Day would be when Santa Claus came. And when Santa Claus came, he didn't wrap them presents because he didn't have the time. So on one side of the Christmas tree would be my presents. On the other side would be my brother's. And it would be like stacked up. My mom and dad did such a great job. It literally looked like a fucking like store display window. Oh my gosh. The way that they would do it and put the toys and stuff there. Yeah. My favorite things that I ever got would be like, my mom would always get me when I was younger Disney Prince dolls.
Oh.
So I had like a Prince Eric and, you know, like these type of things. So then it wasn't like, oh, she's giving you a doll.
Okay.
But she would get their counterparts. She would get their female ones and she would say they're for herself, and she'd put them in a little special suitcase. And then when I went to go play with my male dolls, I could open that special suitcase and play with the girls.
Well, that's sweet.
Yeah. And then my dad really wanted to get me into Batman, and I did get into it. And the big thing was I had little like Batman figures and a full like Batman cave that I loved playing with. Did you ever have the oh my gosh, what were they? Creepy crawlers?
I remember the name, but what were they?
It was like these molds, and you like push this goo into them, and then you put them into like this like oven thing, and then they like form these little like gooey things.
Kind of. I feel like I definitely had a mini bake, like a mini oven. I loved those. Those were so cool. I remember like loving Furbies, Tamagotchis.
Oh,
like
Tamagotchis.
Those were all things I remember getting at Christmas. But like stockings has always been a big thing at my house. Like getting the candy in the stocking for sure, but like that's always something my mother has done that again, it's like another tradition that when I do finally have a partner that like I will want, and it will be something very important to me to do. I also love a real tree.
Yes.
I grew up with no real trees because they are a lot of work. But last year was my first year that I actually got a real tree. And wow, what a difference it makes. I mean, the smell, the feel, it's so important to me. And yeah, I don't know. I think there is something special about a real tree. Did you grow up with real or fake?
Yes,
real?
Oh my God, but it was the worst thing ever.
Why? Because it sheds?
Well, one, it would take forever to find a tree. So there would be tree farms that we would go to.
Sure.
And when I say tree farms, I mean, I know that up north, you
Not
can
in the
actually
parking
cut
lot of
them and
the
stuff.
mall like it is here?
That's how it was in Tennessee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there'd be like multiple parking lots, and we'd drive to one, and we'd all get out, and we'd look at the trees, and I would be like, no, that's not it. That's not it. That's
So it was your fault it took so
I was a
long.
very picky gay bitch even
Shocking.
then, and I was like, no. And then we go to another one, and then it got to a point where I'd be like, okay, that's the one I want.
Yeah.
So we get it, we take it home, my dad would put it up, and then my mom would love, it's time for ornaments, time to put up all the ornaments. But my allergic ass was allergic to every tree in the world.
Oh, no.
So I would go and start doing these, and once like a prick would prick me, I would start like
Hiving
up. Oh, it would turn into hell. And then it became like ornament torture time.
And did
you
y'all
would never
do
wanna
like the ornaments that have been collected over the years?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, it was ornaments collected over the years. Even to this day, my mom still sends me an ornament every Christmas. Don't know what it's gonna be. And I've kind of like carried that tradition with Isaac and I of just
Sure.
like, hanging everything and doing it. I think Isaac also gets a little mad that like I don't include him in the hanging the ornaments. I get very precise. I'm
Okay.
like very like
OCD.
I'm in my element. I
Yeah.
want to do this. I'm like I want to put on Christmas music. I want to do
Yeah.
whatever.
What's your Christmas music go to?
What do you mean?
Like, what's your Christmas album that you put on?
I don't necessarily put on a Christmas album, but my favorite song for Christmas is "Baby Please Come Home" by Darlene Love. That's my favorite. I used to love Mariah Carey, "All I Want for Christmas Is You" until about 5 years ago when it became like
Too much.
Yeah. But I love Darlene Love.
What
I love,
about
like, the
Karen
Ronettes.
Carpenter? The Carpenter's Christmas.
I don't know if I've. What's that?
That's our Christmas album. That's my family's Christmas album. I love it. And then my favorite Christmas song is "All I Want for Christmas is the Get It Crunk. Get it crunk." I made last year when I did Lady Camden's show. I made her open her show with that song. It was hilarious. It's by Dim South Boys. DEMSOUTHBOYZ. Dim South Boys. All I Want for Christmas is to Get It. KRUNK. Add it to your list. It is a crunk Christmas classic next to, of course, my Green Christmas.
Yes. Are you a Christmas movie watcher?
I'm really not, but my favorite would have to be Love Actually.
Okay. I
Yeah.
watched that for the first time, I think 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay. It's really my sister's favorite, so now
So
it's
you
my
just kinda-
favorite. Yeah.
My family would always put on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh my God. And so like I tried to carry the tradition on and I'm like, all right, Isaac. And he's like, I've seen this movie 500 times. We're not watching it.
Oh my God.
And I'll be like alone watching my like National Christmas. And I'm like,
what I was going to say is if Isaac wants to come over and help me do my tree, he's more than welcome
great.
to. Because as my parents got older, they decided that all the, ornaments from the years is tacky, which I agree. So now they have a smaller tree in the office where the tacky ornaments go. And then the big tree is done up like Crate and Barrel or like something you would see in a magazine where all the ornaments are of the similar tone and you do the ribbon. And so that's what I did this last year. And it was literally from the dollar store. I got all my decorations, of course, RIP 99-cent store only. But it was so beautiful. And I love like a classic decorated white, I don't like the colored lights. I like white lights, very gold, very red. I like the pine cones, just like a traditional, classic, rich woman tree.
ooh, yeah.
So yeah, have Isaac come over and help me because that shit
will.
takes me forever.
Also, I will say on Christmas morning, my favorite thing was when my parents forgot the batteries for like toys.
Oh no.
So like they would get you a toy, but they didn't buy the batteries for it.
No.
So then it would be like, I want to play with it. And my dad would be like, we got to go to Walgreens to get you the batteries so you don't freak out. And then we'd like try to go to a Walgreens, but all of them would be closed on Christmas Day because like, 1990s, they didn't open anything during Christmas Day.
Right.
But it was so funny. I always think about those memories of like him having to like throw down everything to try to make me happy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Papa.
One thing I will say, and I was just having this discussion with my friend Amy, who is Jewish. She was saying like she always was envious of those who got to celebrate Christmas because she felt like Hanukkah wasn't as, I don't know, as exciting. There wasn't as many options with it. And I was telling her, like, well, I actually really strongly disagree. You know, one of my next door neighbors, they were Jewish. And I remember going over there and lighting the menorah and watching Aaron get a different present for every day and being like, well, this is so much cooler than Christmas because it goes on for longer and how fun. And, you know, my friend Amy was like, well, yeah, but there's no decorating. And I was like, well, they decorated. They had full on blue, like Christmas lights outside, or full-on blue Hanukkah lights outside and hung dreidels in the tree. And, you know, so I always thought it was so cool that there are other ways to celebrate the holidays besides Christmas. And I think there's such a focus, you know, internationally on Christmas. But the beautiful thing is there are other cultures out there and Kwanzaa and other things that celebrate this holiday. And I just want to make sure, even though we're talking about Christmas and that's what we love, that whatever you celebrate there out there, we're just wishing you the happiest of holidays. And we hope that you are brought all the gifts and love that you deserve as we are closing out 2024. I can't believe it. Can you believe this year's almost over?
Disgusting.
It's crazy.
2024. Can I tell you, it felt like 2020 yesterday.
Really?
I
don't know about that. I don't know about that, girl.
I feel like I was in quarantine for about 700 years and I just came out and I'm like, whoo.
Right. Well, I'm excited we made it through another year with each other. I cannot wait to see where this pod goes next year. We'll be returning back to our hour-long episodes, coming up with new things. But thank you guys, you know, out there for watching us, for loving this new format, and for just sticking with us, you know, on the ride. It's the ultimate gift, I think, at this time to have our viewers.
Exactly. And before we close out, I do want to talk about one more thing.
Okay.
Okay, so it's about to be New Year's, right?
Yes.
And you know how like every New Year's in Times Square, they have the ball drop?
Yep.
I don't get it.
Why?
I want the ball to explode.
Work. She wants more production value.
Literally, they make a new ball every single year. And this thing doesn't do shit. It goes so slow down.
Yeah.
And then it's like, Happy New Year. And I'm like, why doesn't it go?
Right.
And there's fireworks and chicks coming out of it.
Chicks?
Like shit.
Oh, shit.
But not like real shit.
I was like,
but
that would be sickening. Chicks flying out. Now they're the Rockettes and they're doing an in-air performance.
Yes, it needs to be something. I don't want to see a bedazzled $1 million ball come down and nothing happen with it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Wow.
Come on.
Okay. Well, I hear you.
Well, on that note, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Spend time with your family, your friends, your anybody who needs it.
That's right. And don't forget to leave out some carrots for the reindeers and some cookies for Santa. We love you guys. Happy holidays, and we'll see you in 2025. Bye.